Hi everyone, this is the results of and summary of the activities of the NOC of Colombia. We're going to show you all the activities that we did during these 3 years. I'm going to show my slides here. Yeah. So my name is Camilo Delgado Correal. I'm the vice NOC of the IAU Office for Astronomy in Colombia. Also, I'm a junior member and co-chair of the executive committee of the working group for junior members, the IAU. At next, we're going to see all of the activities that we did since 2019 and 2021. This is our logo. This is our flag, Colombia. We have the national office. Here you can see all of the team. No, we have representatives from different planetariums, universities, amateur groups across the country, from Medellin, Cali, Bogotá, Pereira, Barranquilla, Popayán, Ibagué. The names of cities in Colombia. No, that there are many groups that are building this orange community. We have also our website. You can go there. So this is our website, and you can see here. This is the information that you can find. There is here the blog, the contact. This is the information of us, the gallery. Also, there are some news. There are the information of the activities that we already did. Here is our page of Facebook. So you can go OAO Colombia. And there is the all the information of the activities that we're doing. We do the post there, and we can do the promotion. Today it's not working, because of the situation. But I mean, we have 1,000 people that like the website, and also around 1,200 people that follow our activities on this social network. One of the main activities that we did in these 3 years was the NAMEX Awards Colombia. We received around 215 proposals for the name for our exoplanet and star. And after we choose the 3 of them, people around the country vote, and they choose Macondo, the name of the star, and Melquiades, to the name of the exoplanet that we have. It was around 5,000 people that they vote from all the places around the country. People send for the committee the proposal with different inspiration. There was ones was based at ethnic-based names, historical events, name of characters in literature. For example, there was the ones that came from 100 Years of Solitude, that shows our interculturality in our country. This was the website that we designed for the contest. So there was the information of the exoplanet. There was the rules to name the exoplanet. So people could notice about that. We also did some webinars, anticipated all of these pandemic webinars. It was something that happens, you can see, 2019. But we had some experts across the countries about these exoplanet issues. So we invite them to talk about it, and at the end to do the promotion of our contest. We create a committee that in this picture you can see the 70% of this committee in Colombia to receive all of the proposal, to studies, and later on to choose the 3 of them that later on was voted by the people. Here there was the form that we use to receive the proposal, name of the institution, proposed name for the stars, the reason for that, proposed name for the exoplanet, the reason for that. Also, we received this kind of picture that this was an exercise that was done in this school, high school called Salukop, South Salukop. And this high school, the students did this exercise with his professor to choose the name for an exoplanet and star for Colombia. It was one of the 215 proposals that we received, but at the end we chose 3 of them. One was related with our ancestors in close to Bogota. The second one, it was also related with our ancestors, but in the west side of the country. And of course, the winner that was Macondo Melquiades, that was related with the cosmogony of 100 Years of Solitude. So at the end, people could have these options. No, they have the 3 options to choose, and we receive around 5,000 votes related with them. And there was the percentage. You know how Macondo Melquiades was the winner with 72%, and the other option were far away, but there was the percentage. So we send the name. At the end, the AU committee, international committee, approved the names, and the name of the star for Colombia is Macondo. Its exoplanet is Melquiades. You can see here there was all the information. No, so our star, the scientific name is HD 93083. It's an orange dwarf. It's the coordinates. Is the history behind, no? I mean, the Macondo, the explanation of this mythical village of the 100 Years of Solitude. Melquiades was this guy that was walking around Macondo. So we found this information related with the planet that is orbiting the star. We did the launching of the name in parallel in 3 cities, in Medellin, in Cali, and in Bogota. The planetariums gave us the space to do this launching of this name. Here, this is the poster of the event in each city. At the end, you can see how this was the launching. So we were explaining of the contest. At the end, this was this high school that was called Abraham Maslow that they proposed the name. Here there was some guys that were attending the launching of the name. This is an image of our star. This is all of the information. This is the distance, the spectral type, apparent magnitude. After that, we went to the high school that proposed the name for this exoplanet and star, and this is the keys that they proposed the name. This is the amateur high school club that proposed this name for this planet and star. This is their observatory. We have the media, so we stayed there during a couple of hours talking about what is an exoplanet, how the star was born, what was the reason that they used to propose this name. So it was the conversation with these kids. You can see how we stay with them. Also had the opportunity to talk with them because I was the coordinator of this initiative. The name is OAO Colombia. Here there are other activities that we did in this year, in 2019. It was 100 hours of astronomy at different cities. This is one of the guys in Pereira, and they were speaking about astronomy with all the kids you can see here. It was before the pandemic situation, no? How changed things. Later on, we organized this festival. We call it the First Astronomy Digital Festival in Colombia. It was in the beginning of the pandemic, 2020, last year, May 7. So we decided, we said, okay, we can organize a virtual festival. For the reason we call it digital festival. It was a marathon of 12 hours continuously doing hours astronomy. There was different topics by doing many activities organized by all the groups that we had were doing outreach astronomy in Colombia, from all the ages. For example, this one is called Known the Galaxies, by this group Astrofanáticos. They organize this activity for kids. That is very interesting. Also, this one that from the Planetary of Medellin. This one, the Grupo Halley, the Halley team in the UIS, that is the Industrial University of Santander. So they study the science at home, the science behind of comets. And there was also other kind of talks, more for a more adult public, related with all topics in astronomy, black holes. There was also the sun. There was a workshop for kids that was traveling to the moon. There was a conversation between 3 professional astronomers about the infrared universe. Later on, we had this conference that was related by the name ExoWars campaign. And at the end, we did a talk about the legacy of the Hubble Space Telescope, because this year we had the 30 years of the Hubble Space Telescope. So we had different groups. There was the group. This name of this group is very interesting because it was inspired in the name of our star. So the name is Macondo Astronomy Astrophysics Group. That is from Cali. So we had many activities from Cali, Medellin, Bogotá, Pereira, Bucaramanga. So it was very interesting. Also in Barranquilla, we had the astronomy behind of the Simpsons. So this is interesting there. And now, during this year, we continue doing the same digital festival. So now we have the second edition from this festival. But the topic of this festival was related with the Jury's Night, that we are celebrating 60 years of the history behind Yuri Gagarin. So we did many activities related with that. The first time that we reached the space with Yuri. And also we did this marathon of 12 hours because it was the aim of this activity, doing our astronomy activities. And we have this was the all the program that we had. It was related with the space. So now the topic of this digital festival was the space in general. We talk about for example, the policies that we have in Colombia related with the space. How is the communication in the space, the history of our first Pico satellite that we launched in the 90s. All the history behind of this first flight of Yuri Gagarin. And at the end, we had a talk with the space science, and we had the invitation. We invite this Fyodor Yurkin, that he was a former astronaut, Russian former astronaut. So it was very interesting to choose the other side of the space career, because sometimes we just chose all the NASA or ESA, but now also the Russian space program. So it was very interesting. During this week, we organized this event also, the 100 hours in astronomy. We did some activities since last week. So you can see the date. So it was local activities. All these activities are in Spanish because our public is in Spanish. But you can see astronomy to the park. There was the meeting with constellations. Also, there was the activities led by the young people. There are these workshop of sky chart. This one is called Distrito Asteroide. It's a citizen science campaign, astronomy, citizen astronomy campaign that they use some data taken by the telescope called Pan-STARRS in Hawaii, and they try to find some new candidates for asteroids. So this is very interesting, this campaign. Also, there was people that is showing the spectrums, how you can take the spectrums. There are other activities more related with the space, for example, the debris. That there are some kind of situation now that we have. And this is the activity, for example, now these 3 years of achievements and activities. This is other one that is how you can do astronomy without telescopes. And of course, the activities with the sky. Here was the number of activities that we organized. Our events were close to 120 activities. Promoted by the community, also we help some of them. Here, there are some numbers of the people that we reached. For example, we had around 1,100 students that they were involved with this activity with high schools. Teacher training events, around 60 teachers involved. We had around 2,500 people involved in our public lectures. As I told you before, it was around 5,000 people that voted for our 3 proposals of the name of the planet and the stars. We had around 3,300 people involved in our events of 100 hours of astronomy. And in this first and second digital astronomy festival, we reached around 3,000 people. It was alive. I mean, there was in this moment during all the 2 activities. In total, we count all during these 24 hours, because the first one 12 and the second one over 12. Working with the schools was another important strategy. The AU is not very well known here in a well-known institution in our country, but with the TF2 of OED, the planetariums and university, we have increased this recognition of this institution. Many activities linked to Astro portal, NASA courses, and Einstein School were implemented. So now people know more about the AAU and, of course, the Office of Outreach. There was some relevant dissemination actions, a lecture promoted by amateur groups and professional institutions. There were public stargazing in different cities, 2 expositions of the Above and Beyond exhibition, and special season of the AU 100 at the National Meeting of Astronomy. That its name is COCOA 2019. So we did the presentation of these achievements that we were doing this year. Also, we launched the contest of the Name X Awards, the result of the Name X Awards Colombia. Here, there is the information that we post in some media. We had this interview in this journal that is called El Tiempo, that is the most popular newspaper in Colombia. So here we discuss, no, it was the live that we did related with our exoplanet, our star, our contest. So how you can participate in this contest. Here we had the opportunity to discuss with the journalists in this newspaper, El Tiempo. And during 20 minutes, we discussed about all the information of exoplanets and the contest. So it was very interesting because thanks to this contest, we could talk about science with many journalists. There was other news also in the Tiempo. We did this webinar related with some researchers in science and planetary science and exoplanet about our exoplanet, that is HD 93083. Also, we had this one. It was a review, a complete review in a journal of science journalists, that we have all the information of the contest. We had a news related with the landing, no, the 50 years of the moon landing. So it was very interesting because we could talk about science. I mean, for our community, it's very important to do that. So we use this contest of the NameX Awards to involve people in these topics now. So now people knows more about it. What is an exoplanet? And it was very interesting. Now you find in the many portals of news in Colombia, you can find the news of the exoplanets. Here there are some success stories with the implementation of the AAU 100 activities in Colombia. For example, there was a student of the University of Antioquia, Manuela Leguizamon, that she won the second place in the essay contest of the AAU 100 celebration. So she's in this picture. She was also in the general event of the 100 years. Who had the winner of the NameX Awards contest was an amateur astronomy club from the Abraham Maslow High School in Bogota. So kids and their teacher had studied the Garcia Marquez legacy in literature, and they found that it was inspiring connection with the sky observation. So in this picture, you can see here there are all the guys, no, that they proposed the name. He's Karina, that is her professor, her teacher. And we have here the telescope. So it's interesting, no? The name of this exoplanet and this star was come from these guys. The proposal for training teacher of the OAO National Committee was awarded by 12 Telescope, the Open School Program. Many of the names proposed in the NameX Awards came from indigenous tradition and permit us to communicate with the legacy of our ancestral communities. It was very interesting that we received this proposal of the names. So it was the candidates, no, two of them. And this is the history that today I want to tell you. This was the main achievements and activities that we did during these 3 years. Now we're doing new things. We're involved in new projects that are more involve more people, and planning how to come back to the present activities. No? So now we need to think about it. And this is the last message that I want to share with you. This is where the universe, somos universo. So there was a picture that the last Outrage festival that we organize every year in Colombia. Also, the office was there, and you can see this girl that is watching the universe through this telescope. So she's question herself. So it's very interesting. So thanks for your attention and welcome to Colombia. No, so when you see the stars, no, you see this star HD 93 you can know, you can remember that this is our star, is Macondo star. So you can think about our country. So thank you so much, and follow our social network now that we are posting all the things. Thanks a lot. Here there are some questions. Were there any issues during the pandemic? It was very difficult at this time because we had some kind of plan that there was many conference, there was many meetings that it was in personal way. So we had to discuss what kind of strategy we could do during this pandemic time. And it was the reason that we launched this digital festival. So it was the main idea that we could do at this time. But later we noticed that it was a great opportunity to join many people from different parts and also reach these people from different high schools across the country. So now we are doing these mixed activities. So sometimes we organize a talk that we can present in high school that are far away from the main cities. So this is interesting. So now we have not just the in-person activities. No, now we have this virtuality. Also, we can do the broadcast of the person activities that in-presence activities that we can do. So yeah, there are other questions. Okay, this is the other question. We're going to do the next online festival. For example, the first version of this digital festival is going to be organized. The time is around May, April, between April and May. So yeah, so we are going to do the mix between the both activities. Do you have other question? The idea is that people knows all the activity that we are doing here. The Irish community in Colombia is kind of all. We have from since in the 50s, I think we have these Irish activities. So we have a kind of a tradition, that many ways to do Irish activities. So it's a kind of 300 people that are involved in this Irish activity. So okay. There are some comments here. Okay. So if there is no more question, we can finish now. Maybe we can wait 5 minutes, and if there is no question, we can finish.